It's 12:03 p.m., June 22nd, 2026. And today I'm working out on my elliptical. I don't really like this angle very much. But maybe I can change it in the future, actually.
So I'd love to hear about how you got interested in somatic recovery and how trauma affects the body, and just tell me a story.
For the question.
In somatics out of desperation. I was also in chronic pain. I started experiencing chronic pain quite young, around age 14, and then by the time I was in my 20s, I had chronic pain in my feet. I had plantar fasciitis, and it was really affecting my ability to live life and even just go to work. And so I started getting really, really serious about my healing once it got to that point. I also suffered from insomnia. So prior to doing somatic work, I had gone to doctors, specialists, physical therapists, chiropractors, and then I also had dabbled in alternative healing like acupuncture, meditation, yoga, craniosacral therapy, massage therapy. I tried everything, and somatics was the first thing that worked for me long term.
Man, I can relate to that. I've been traveling some down the same roads as you. I was telling you off air that the pain in my feet, and I have arthritis in both feet, got so severe I was actually fantasizing about having prosthetics instead of feet.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be a better way to go because, I'd stand up sometimes and literally the level of pain was similar to having labor.
Yeah, oh my God.
And I felt like I was walking on sharp glass.
Yeah.
And every step was so painful that I couldn't bear it. Yeah, so it really is amazing how driven you get when you're in these states. And I love that you stumbled into something that's really been a solution. So help us understand why this worked where other things didn't.
Yeah, I was really skeptical at first. It was actually my ballet teacher suggested to me that I try somatics, and I had seen the somatic class, and it was just a bunch of people rolling around on the floor in their pajamas. And, for me, logically, that didn't make sense. I have an academic background in psychology, and I was like, I don't understand how this is going to help me with this. It felt a little woo-woo to me. But I actually cried in the bathroom after my first lesson because my body had never felt so good. And then, as I learned more and more about somatics, I learned that, it's actually based in neuroscience research, and it's really legitimate. It just looks different than what we've done historically to, reduce pain, to find relief. It's a different looking thing, and that, I think, for people can make them skeptical at first.
So let's go back to what happens neurologically to us when we're in states of unsafety or lack of safety.
I think what a lot of narcissistic abuse survivors don't realize is that it's a really extreme environment to be in. And especially if you grew up in a narcissistic family system, or if you were in a narcissistic relationship, a romantic relationship, you're in that environment a lot during your day. One of the primary places where you spend time. And when you're in those types of environments, you're getting gaslit, you're getting minimized, there's the shame, there's the control, there's the unpredictable behavior. And that puts your body into a chronic state of fight or flight, which makes you live in your stress physiology. So we all have stress physiology, and a little bit of stress, short-term stress, is actually good for us. We have a built-in fight-flight response. When that happens sometime, back in the day when a bear was chasing you, that's a good response to have. But what happens with folks who are living in an environment with narcissistic abuse is that bear is always there. You're always around, you're in that environment with the bear, you're living with the bear, and so you're living in constant fight or flight.
Hey, thanks for the like.
Over time, when you're living in your stress
hello,
physiology, it starts to wear your body down. Your body stops prioritizing systems that it doesn't deem necessary for survival, like digestion.
This is me saving my legs.
Really surprising. It prioritizes your brain, for example, over digestion.
I've seen a lot of people as they age,
start with bracing your muscles a little bit,
and they need to have their leg strength improved.
Pain, where you go to the doctor.
I heard something on a YouTube video about walking backwards. I'll have to look it up again.
And then it kind of just dominoes into
but basically, going on my elliptical and moving backward. Hopefully, I'll be giving my muscle strength some greater chance of longevity in my legs.
Yeah, I was really shocked. I had heard people tell me that my muscles were very tense. Kind of equated that to strength, not realizing.
Oh, you finished the house?
Protectedness.
Nice.
And it was exhausting.
Okay, I need to look that up.
Yep, it takes up a lot of your energy. Having your muscles braced and clenched all the time takes up a lot of physical energy and emotional energy too. Over time, it starts to give you low mood.
Yeah, and then I also wasn't aware how everything is connected. I mean, if you think about it skeletally, it makes sense, but that it would have a ripple effect. It doesn't just affect that one area, but
Yeah.
you're going to have it's going to cross, like if my feet are hurting me, that means that my calves are probably too tight, and my quad, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of goes right up the system.
Totally. There's a term that we use called the kinetic chain, which is essentially everything in your body is connected. And in somatics, we think about the pelvis as kind of like the foundational place for body health. And when you get your pelvis in correct alignment and when you're no longer like bracing the muscles in your pelvic floor, that translates both up the spine and down into your legs as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The other thing that really puzzled me, or kind of I didn't realize, because we even the disciplines, we separate them so much. We act like medicine's different from psychology. That's different from when we go work with a physical therapist or PT. We act like these are like silos, and they're actually really connected. And then
Okay,
what's
talk
happening
to you
in our
later.
day-to-day life has ramifications across the board, not just how we're feeling it relationally, or whether we think the relationship could be saved or not, or how safe we personally feel, but it's also having a cost to us physically as well. So that many people end up getting chronic diseases, sort of inflammatory diseases, because of these chronic state of being in a fight or flight state. But when did you kind of have that aha, or was it something that you already sort of intuitively knew this about being stuck in fight or flight?
Yeah, I really feel like I grew up in fight or flight. I'm from a narcissistic family system. My dad was quite angry all the time, so I really did feel like I lived with them there growing up. And then, I also experienced sexual abuse in childhood, so I had some like big capital T trauma going on. And, I think that it's such an important note that you just made about how everything isn't in a silo and it's all connected, because I did therapy, I did EMDR, I went to the doctor. I felt like I tried all the things that I was supposed to try, and it just wasn't clicking for me. And it took me a really long time. It took me 10 years of trying to heal to like really discover somatics and really be like, oh, okay, this is for me the missing link to healing my body from all of the stress and all of the trauma that I've been through in my life. The therapy is still really important to me. I still do EMDR on occasion with my therapist, but somatics for me was the missing link, because so many of my physical symptoms were related to CPTSD, were related to narcissistic abuse, were related to sexual assault. And, doctors just didn't have answers for why I had so much pelvic pain, why I had plantar fasciitis. And it just took me such a long time. And I really learned it on my own through my own journey and my own discovery. And that is one of the reasons why I'm so vocal now about, if you have had unexplained pain for longer than 3 months and the doctor doesn't know why, there's such a high chance that it's emotional or trauma-based. Like it's a very, very high chance, and it's worth just trying out somatic exercises to see, does this make me feel better or not? Because if it doesn't, you lose 20 minutes of your day and then you can go on, but but it's cheaper than a doctor's appointment or anything like that. So for me, it was definitely the missing link, and it took me a really long time to figure that out, and that's why I'm so vocal now about it.
I love that. And I think the other thing we miss is that this is a negative feedback, negative cycle, a negative loop. And what I found is that as my world got smaller,
Good night, Deepak.
the pain increased, my weight went up.
Have a good sleep.
And then whenever you try to do one thing, everything seems to depend on the next thing, and it's really hard. The point is feeling defeated, like a huge failure, because I couldn't stop it, and yet I knew that society was watching me and thought, it's a simple fix, just exercise more or eat less, and you don't realize that, no, all of this is kind of working together against you.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's such a important conversation about like sudden dramatic shifts in weight that's really important to address. So some people will gain a lot of weight, and some people will lose a lot of weight when they've experienced,
Let's see what other YouTubers are doing.
That sudden dramatic shift is definitely a distress. And it's not.
How do I? Oh, I know.
Y'all think I'm a tweaker. Y'all leave me
Hey, Bella Hope, welcome back. Andrew Gibbs, Andrew. Let's go. Thanks. Still on? They're putting they're so crazy. Okay. Okay. You may end up in my workplace. I don't know. What is she doing? Okay. There's so many live streamers, it's crazy. I never really explored the live streaming world much. A baby and Trump, or some computer animated wrestling match. It's crazy. What the? Oh my gosh, that was 15 minutes. Holy moly. That was already 15 minutes of elliptical. That's crazy. Hey Ruth, hello. I just finished my 15 minutes on the elliptical. And I guess now I should probably bathe, and I'm not going to live stream that. Let's see here. Thanks, Ruth. Yeah, I did 15 minutes on my elliptical. It's crazy for me. I want to do that daily, but I keep kind of not doing it. Well, I'll go for walks, but I should at least do 15 minutes on my elliptical, just as like a flat, like, here's the bar, 15 minutes at the very least. That's so nice, Ruth. Thank you. Where are you from? So yeah, if anything, I'll do VR chat stream. Maybe I'll even attempt to practice. There's so many streams kind of that I can kind of do. Thanks for the likes. Like I can kind of like practice my knitting. I can do makeup. I can do VR chat. I'll do makeup after VR chat. Always that, because I don't want to put on makeup and then put on the VR headset. That's crazy. Yeah. So I'll be back in about an hour, I guess. So thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Especially thank you for commenting, because it gets to work with. Ruth, still curious where you're from. So if you can let me know in now or later stream, that'd be great. Thank you for and have a great day. See you soon.